Alright, hey guys, welcome to the start of Season... Season 1 Reloaded. As you can see, I'm playing Endgame. I haven't tested out the zombies mode. I don't even know if it's actually available, but I did buy the pass, and I'm also at this point showing off how they've organized all the weapons to regular weapons and then seasonal. Base game weapons and seasonal weapons, which is cool. And of course, going into Endgame, I'm using the Stone Wolf, which is in the Fallout event, the XP Fallout event. We have on the free side of things, I all paid for the premium and got everything unlocked. Now, in this, you will actually see, one, how it plays out at max rarity and at rank 63, where you have the ×8 damage multiplier. It does very well, I will say that right now. And you also see the temporary Deathclaw event in Endgame. And you'll also see me trying out the power armor, which is dropped at the whenever that event ends. Of course, before that, you will see short little gameplay of just trying out the weapon and me checking out the weekly unlocks so I can get the Coda 9 shit. Whatever. So, I am very excited. I made sure to get a bunch of COD points so I can buy this, the seasonal event, or the Fallout event thing, and then also Lucy's bundle when that comes out, because I'm excited. And I'll wait until you guys actually see Deathclaws, because they are a reskin with limited abilities of a certain enemy that's currently available in the game. That's all I can say right now. Yeah, that's all I can say right now. I'm sorry for any noise that you guys hear in the background of my fucking thing. I also need to make sure to kind of lower the sound of my audio, of the in-game audio, because I know it's going to be loud when I listen back to it. But that's whatever, neither here nor there. And as we load in, you will actually hear the Fallout theme. Isn't that cool? And that also plays when the Deathclaw event spawns in. I think it only spawns in one zone, much like the giant robot, the giant event only spawns in zone 2. I think it only spawns in one specific zone, and you will see that when it does spawn in. And as you can see, I'm going into tier 3 zone, or tier 4 zone, to make sure I have it at max, the new SMG at max rarity, to level it up and also just have fun with it and test it out. It isn't bad. It's a little tedious, I will say that. A little bit tedious. And as you can see, I'm also just constantly checking. And then, of course, Fallout music in the background. I need to play Fallout 4 again. At some point, I should probably play it on my channel, but I will need to probably install some mods to make sure I don't have to betray anybody, or can convince what's his name in whatever location, Nuka World, to join me, or like not be a villain. As you see in tier 4 zone, it's not bad at max rarity. The ammo capacity isn't great starting off. I think it's only 30, and with the ×8 multiplier, basically the pseudo pack-a-punch system in Endgame, it brings up base mag size to 45 starting off, and then the rest I think is 495. Is that what it is? We'll see. Yeah, 495 is the max reserve ammo. It's not a bad weapon. It's actually pretty fucking good. And of course, you see I get one of the daily challenges completed. And after I get done recording this and let it process and all that shit, I will have to switch up what's being done first, because before I even did all this and the update went live, I made sure to record episode 3 of my Resident Evil 2 series. And then there should be one more episode for Leon's side of things, and then 4 total episodes for Claire. And the start of that episode will probably go up the afternoon after the 4th episode for Leon's side of things. That way it kind of coincides where the series will end before Who's He What's It. Now, you notice how the Mimic moves. That should already be a telling sign, with what I just mentioned. How the Mimic moves. I'll just say it now. They are a reskinned Mimic, which is fine because that actually fits the model. And it actually, if you've played New Vegas or Fallout 3, mainly New Vegas, if you've played Fallout New Vegas, that movement actually looks very similar to how Deathclaws would attack and move in New Vegas, which fits. I like that. But it's also like, it makes sense that they would just reuse a skeleton and remove a certain ability. There's also a neat little system with the zone for the Deathclaw event. There's a unique system for that, and also, of course, feral ghouls spawn in. I will say this, I would like it if this stayed a permanent event. It would be a rare chance of spawning in, but it stayed a permanent event instead of a temporary one, because that's what it stated as. It's really cool and all, but it would make sense to just have it be permanent so we could just have it show up every so often and have a really cool, yet albeit very, very short kill streak. And you'll see what I mean when I activate the power armor. It does not last very long. Of course, see me trying to get regular stuff out of the way. Ghouls. The ghouls in the Deathclaw event do count as fears because they are reskinned fears or zombies. So there's that. And then you will see it should spawn in about 2-3 seconds. There we go. And you hear impact coming. It takes 30 seconds, and then I check the map, and I think it only spawns in Zone 1. That's what I think. I haven't tested it out yet any further to actually fully see. But we will see. To be completely honest, yeah, we'll see. And as you can also see, while I'm playing this, I try and, just in case, because I didn't know how dangerous it would actually be, I try and get a bunch of other people to join a bunch of other things. Atomic Impact and Imminent, which is a really cool thing. I was like, that's really cool, thinking to myself. Deathclaws emerged, of course. Me trying to travel over there, but I try to join other squads, and of course nobody cares. See, request to join squad. I do that like 3 or 4 times during this entire thing, but it doesn't really matter. And of course, Fallout music in the fucking background, because Fallout is great. It's a fun series. And I haven't actually watched the show. I've only seen clips, but holy fuck. With the reveal of Deathclaws being dropped in Anchorage. If you don't know, Deathclaws in Fallout lore are an FEV, Forced Evolutionary Virus mutation, or creation, of the Enclave at the time, of like the U.S. military at that time, during the war between China and the United States. And during a scene where it's in the past and you see Cooper Howard in T-45 power armor, I think, or is it T-60? T-60 power armor. In Anchorage, it malfunctions, and then he gets ambushed by some Chinese, and they get decimated by a Deathclaw, which this is the first evidence of Deathclaws actually being used pre-war. For people that don't know Fallout lore, pre-war basically means before the atomic bombs were dropped. Pre-war in Anchorage, turns out Deathclaws were used, which is what they were created for, is to decimate areas that were under enemy control. And Cooper Howard sees that, And then as the ghoul at the end of episode 4, I don't have what's it? Amazon Prime, but yeah. But as you can see, animations are exactly the same as mimics. Exact same attack and everything, but that stance works really well with how they operated in New Vegas. And here is the Rad X. Rad X prevents you from taking damage in the radiation zone, which is really cool. I like that. It's a really nice change, and it's something additive. Of course, you can also just pick it up a bunch too, but that's neither here nor there. As you can see, there are 10 total Deathclaws that need to be eliminated. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. Of course, I just keep on picking it up because I'm an idiot. Yeah, but again, there are 10 total that need to be eliminated in the area, and then, of course, you get the, the exotic skill drop, and then, of course, the power armor. But, as you can see, feral ghouls spawn in, and I think regular armored zombies also spawn in. I just noticed that. I didn't fully notice that at first, but you see a bunch of people wearing the Maximus skin and stuff, so that's really cool. But yes, there are a bunch of irradiated Deathclaws, because in the glowing sea, that's where irradiated Deathclaws mainly live in Fallout 4. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but the Storm Wolf is actually pretty good for taking care of fears, as you can tell. Of course, I checked the map several times, but this is what it looks like, basically. And of course, there's me requesting to join a fucking squad and not happening. Whatever. Yeah, I think that's just a regular armored zombie. I don't think that's actually like a ghoul skin. I hope you guys can't hear any background music from the game, because I actually have it opened up right now on my Xbox, and I just realized that it was playing. Yeah, but this is basically what it is, and then in this upcoming zone, there we go. And as you see, it just disappears. It fades away, and then a supply drop comes in, and then we collect our reward, which of course, exotic skill, then complete 8 endgame co-op missions, complete 3 unique world events. So do this now as quickly as possible to get this that calling card, which is a really cool looking calling card. I will actually equip it when I get done with this. Of course, I'm just kind of waiting. So as you can see, that's what it looks like. It is the Brotherhood of Steel emblems and shit, which is really cool. Then, of course, exotic skill, something I don't need. And then, power armor. Really cool. And I was like, oh man, I gotta use this as soon as possible. I'm gonna use it in the tier 2 extraction zone. And of course, points, because that's how it goes. Points go into getting cool stuff. I thought about using it there, but then I realized that would be pointless. I'd rather go in a more difficult area to see how good it can be. I should have done it in tier 4, but that's a pain in the ass to deal with. Yeah, you see, I was like, I should probably go to tier 4, but then tier 2 is a lot closer, so. You're traveling. I will say, this is a really cool thing. Again, I want it to stay permanent, the Deathclaw event, just because, like, hey, this was a really good collaboration with Fallout. So much better than the Modern Warfare 3 collaboration. Was that what it was? Yeah, the MW3 collaboration was shit. That was a terrible collaboration. But this collaboration was really cool, and it brought in something great. And this is like what events should have been like in speaking of Modern Warfare 3 zombies, Modern Warfare 3, mainly MW zombies, Modern Warfare zombies. Jesus, I can't think. This is like what it should have been, like events, kind of like small little pocket areas for things like Deathclaws or otherworldly shit to occur. That'd be really cool, but it didn't. They didn't do that. But they had a bunch of content, added like weapons and skins and all that stuff, which was great to work towards and shit. So. Yeah. And then coming up real soon is me using the T60 power armor in game. It is basically the yeah, it is pretty much an upgraded form of the Rhino. I would no, it's more like Modern Warfare's Juggernauts and stuff, like the Juggernaut from Black Ops 6, probably. Yeah, it's more similar to that, which is really cool. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then you see me use it. This is what it looks like. It's T60 power armor, baby. As you can see, that is draining very quickly. I like the HUD element for it. The health and the timer for it is really cool. I like how this guy is just like examining, like, oh shit, this looks cool. Yeah, I love the effects for the minigun and everything. And you kind of see me testing shit out. I think in a second I'm going to test out the thrusters. Yeah, test out the thrusters so you can jump really high and kind of fly up a few feet, or several feet. And then there's the super punch, which I use against the mangler, or the mauler as it's called. And then, of course, testing out the ejection, because why the fuck not? Here we go. Really cool. And then, boom. That's so cool. I like how it sends you far enough back in case you don't have the explosive resistance skill, like yeah, the explosion resistance skill from your own explosives. That's really cool. It's a nice system for it. And I will say this, I hope you guys have enjoyed my whole talk about this stuff for Endgame, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.